Bienvenidos a una edición más de esta mierda. Para quien no me conoce, I am Jalen.k.shabazz, aka Quick Temper. And what I'm going to do today is give you 15 series or shows on Netflix that you can use to help you learn Spanish. I've seen videos like this, but I think what I'm going to bring is a little bit different because I'm going to tell you the shows. I'm going to tell you what I thought of them. I'm going to give you a little bit of plot. I'm going to give you a little bit of what you might hear. And then you could decide if you want to watch it or not. You feel me? This is not an order of how much I like them, because if I did it that way, I feel like you would just listen to like the first three and leave. So it's all mixed up. You're not going to know which ones I like unless you watch the whole video. Okay, number one, El Robo de Siglo, which is like on English, it says like the Great Heist or something like that, right? I don't know. But I'm going to put it on the screen so you'll know if I knew what I know when I put it up there. Anyways, this is set in Colombia. It's based on a true story. You're going to hear two different accents, right? You got the costeño accent and you got the cachaco. I don't know what to compare that to. I don't have a word for it in English, but it's like probably the main accent you think of when you think of Colombia, right? And basically, it was a huge heist. If you've seen Money Heist, like all those bank robbery movies are kind of based on this, where they go on the inside and they try to rob it from the inside and get out without anybody knowing who they are, how they did it, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, if you're not used to that costeño accent, it's gonna be tough. If you're used to listening to like real neutral Spanish, it's not neutral at all. Like I'm just thinking of the first dude that pops up that's explaining the job, and like I promise you're not gonna know what he's saying. Like he's like, you're gonna hear lots of no joda, lots of manito, lots of compay, lots of capi. lots of costeño words, right? And then you also get to hear the main characters. They're not from the coast, so they got the typical stereotypical Colombian accent. Great show. I loved it. It's a limited series, so there's only like 5 parts. It's not something that you could watch for a long time. Moving on. Nicky Jam's El Ganador. Me siento un ganador. That shit was amazing, bro. I watched this at the beginning of the quarantine. Honestly, back then, I really couldn't understand it. I really should go back and watch it. Super Puerto Rican because it's based in Puerto Rico. It's literally Nicky Jam's life story. Him and Daddy Yankees come up. And, yeah, very Puerto Rican. They didn't even try to make it appeal to other people, which is dope because, like I said, it's very Puerto Rican. It's his life story. So you're going to hear lots of, que la que hay, puñeta, mamabicho, dame un break, stuff like that. Like, stuff that you would actually hear, like, honestly, like, when I went to Puerto Rico, that's how it sounded. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Lots of Puerto Rican slang up in there. Like, I just remember us pausing it and looking up a lot of stuff because we're just like, what does that mean, bro? Because we're watching it in Spanish with Spanish subtitles, so we're not watching it in English. So yeah, very good. It shows his whole life, how he beat drug addiction. He was addicted to perks and like all kinds of stuff. Like honestly, he almost died, and he decided to turn his life around with the help of his pops while he was in Colombia. And obviously, if you know Nicky Jam right now, if you follow him, he's very successful. He's made up with Daddy Yankee from all the stuff they went through and stuff like that. So honestly, even if you're not trying to learn Spanish, I would recommend that show to anybody because it's that good. Also a limited series. It's not something that lasted like 50 episodes. It's something that you have to just watch and just be mad that it's over. I think it was like 10 episodes or something like that. But it was good. Moving on. Number 3, Siempre Bruja. I stopped watching the show. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The only reason I put it on this list is because I've seen lots of people on the internet say that they're trying to get exposure to other accents, but they don't know where to watch stuff. And Siempre Bruja is going to give you that. Going back to like the number one thing on the list, it's a costeño accent, and it's in Colombia. For that reason, for Spanish learning reasons, I'm going to say you could watch it. I had to tap out on it. It's too weird for me. It's about a slave, a black slave woman that goes in the future to save her slave master that she like fell in love with. Like, bro, I made it through like 5 episodes and I was like, I'm not doing this, bro. Like, I know. It's just fiction. It's just fantasy. But I'm like, I'm not trying to watch this, bro. That's just my personal opinion. I can't even tell you if the show's good or not because I couldn't make it through it. For practicing with different accents, it's good for you. Go ahead and watch it up. Okay, number 4. Quien mató a Sara? Who killed Sara? Also based in Mexico. But you're gonna get a variety of accents because like the dad of this family is actually from Spain, and they're just in Mexico. So there's Mexican accents and Spanish accents. The story is about a guy and his sister. He's friends with this rich family, and they're on like a camping trip, and the sister dies, right? He basically, the dad that's from Spain's like telling him like, hey, we can't have this investigation about how she died. Like, how about you just say it was your fault, you didn't blah blah blah, and you take the fall for it. We'll make sure you're taken care of, and we'll make sure your mom is taken care of. And he takes the fall for it. But they just abandon him when he's in prison. So he gets out with like vengeance on his mind, you know what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch of plot twists. They're like, wait a second. Did she get killed or did she commit suicide? And then they're like, no, she didn't commit suicide. She actually was trying to kill someone else. And I'm not going to keep getting into it, but a lot of plot twists. Definitely worth watching. Number 5, El Dragón. Completely Mexican show, and it's a really good show actually. It's about a guy that his parents and his grandparents, their family business is the cartel. Starts off real stereotypical. You're like, another Spanish show about the cartel, how boring. His parents get assassinated and he gets sent to Japan, so he grows up as like a Japanese businessman / samurai, and then as an adult his grandpa gets sick and then he goes back to Mexico to take over the cartel, except he's like a genius with like stocks and stuff, so he's at this board of cartel members. That's a horrible. So the video stopped recording for some reason, which is probably good because I talked for like 25 minutes. I'm gonna make this shorter. Okay, so what was I on? El Dragón. Yeah. There's like a board of cartel members. He is the 4th, right? He's taking his grandpa's spot. The other 3 are like, bro, we don't want to do stocks. We want to sell drugs. So they want to kill him so that they can go back to old business. And he does a lot of cool stuff, like puts out false news reports to get people buying stuff, and then he sells the stock, and it just makes you wonder, like, is the stock world really like that in real life? But anyways, on to the next one. Number 6, La Reina Del Flow. Amazing show based in Colombia. The difference with this show compared to other shows in Colombia is that the region that they're in, they're going to be using a lot of voz. And the voz is, if you don't know about voz, it's good that you watch the show because it's a completely different form of talking. Instead of using tú, they say vos. And the conjugations change as well too. So the way that they stress the words and the actual conjugations themselves change. For instance, a regular Spanish speaker will say, tú sabes. They'll say, vos sabes. What else? Let me think of something else. A regular Spanish speaker say, escúchame. They say, escúchame. Can I think of anything else? No jodas. They say that a lot in the show. No jodas. No jodas. So yeah, if you have never interacted with someone that speaks with voice, like if you watch any of my other videos, you already know the guy that taught me Spanish, my really good friend, he speaks to me with voice, so that's somewhat normal for me. I know how to speak with voice, I know how to hear it, but if you've never heard it or used it, it's going to be totally different. It's kind of hard to keep up, right? Just like with anything else that you don't practice. So that show is about a woman that was falsely imprisoned for like 20 years. She fell in love with a dude. He planted drugs on her, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'm out of jail. I'm going to kill you. But it gets complicated. She gets like Stockholm Syndrome and she falls back in love with him. You got to watch it yourself, right? But all the songs on there are really good. I still listen to those songs to this day. Kind of hope they come out with a season 3. Moving on. Number 7, La Niña. This one is kind of based on true events. A little girl is kidnapped, forced to be a child soldier, and she escapes eventually. And she tries to re-enter into society. Society doesn't accept her. The people that she ran away from are trying to kill her. It's a really good show. Really, 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 really long. If you don't have a lot of free time, it's going to take you months to watch that shit. I watched it during quarantine, so we got done with it in weeks. And that was like watching like 10 episodes a day, bro. So that's going to take you a long time. The accent they speak with is like the stereotypical Colombian accent. A lot of usted. No vos. In that show, they didn't use vos at all. Not a lot of tu. Mainly usted in that show, from what I remember anyways. Anyways, really good show. I recommend it. Moving on. Number 8, Monzón, a knockout blow. I'm a big boxing fanatic, if you know me, so I already knew who Carlos Monzón was. But this was a dramatization of his life. He was a fucking murderer and a woman beater, but he was a really good boxer. And that allowed him to get away with abusing women. And when his wife fell off a balcony, he had to go to trial, and ultimately he still got off. He only got like 12 years or something like that, when it was very obvious that he killed her. But this show is his childhood leading up to that, like how much of a superstar he was and how that played into him getting away with being an abuser. It is in Argentina. The accents are very me llamo, che boludo. No disrespect. I remember watching it when I didn't know much about Argentina, and I just thought, like, this sounds like Italian. Like, I know it's Spanish, but they sound like they're speaking Italian. I found out the connection between Italy and Argentina. It's weird. It's a pretty good show, though. I recommend it. Limited series because it's based on a true story, so it's not something that has like 80 episodes. I believe it was like 8 episodes max, right? Moving on, number 9, Wild District. Pretty stereotypical. It's just like La Niña, except it's a guy. He was a child soldier. He escapes. He's trying to re-enter society. The feds are like, okay, we'll let you back in, but you got to be a rat. You got to do this for us. So he's trying to balance being an undercover rat in a criminal organization, taking care of his kid that hates him for being a child soldier. Very typical. Good show, though. I recommend it. Number 10, Control Z. Control Z is based in Mexico. It's at a high school, a really inclusive high school. There's a trans student, a gay student, all kinds of stuff that you don't normally see. So that's how you know it's a new show. Really good. The main character is so smart that she's almost like super powered. She's really observant. She knows when people are nervous. She knows when people are blah, blah, blah. She knows everyone's daily habits because she like sits around and just people watches. Anyways, someone hacks everyone's phones and gets all their secrets and start posting them. And they're like, if you don't do this, we'll post this. And so they all start committing crimes and stuff. And she's doing investigations, trying to figure out who it is. It's really good. Since it is in high school and is in Mexico, the slang is heavy. I know a lot of Mexican people, but I don't talk to them in Spanish a lot. So like honestly, Mexican slang, that shit goes over my head. Like in this show, there's a lot of "que pedo, way, que pedo, way, pedo, way," and I'm just like, you lost me after the third pedo, way. Anyways, number 11, Diablero. Same kind of thing. Very, very heavy Mexican slang. It's about demon hunters. Really cool show, honestly. Like one of the first shows I watched fully in Spanish, and based in Mexico, made in Mexico. A little girl gets kidnapped by a demon, and these people dedicate their lives to demon hunting. It's fiction, by the way, but they dedicate their lives to demon hunting, chasing after these demons to get their kid back, and they realize a lot more people are connected to these demons than they thought. Number 12, El Vecino, the first show that I'm recommending from Spain. It's a guy that's a loser, gets dumped by his girlfriend, gets superpowers. He's trying to win her back. I'm going to keep it that short. Spanish accent, lots of joder, tío. It's really cool though, and they got different slang. Like they just, I mean, their whole thing is different. They're in Europe, everyone else is in South America, Latin America, so really different. But it's good to get some practice in with those different accents, right? Number 13, Somos. Heavy, bro. Heavy emotional story. It was based on real life events. America got a bunch of civilians in a Mexican town slaughtered by the cartel because of some carelessness. I'm not going to get deeper than that. Look it up. It's a real story. Then watch it. It's just sad. It just depicted their lives, and it depicted the events leading up to the cartel slaughtering all these people. Number 14. The next two are honorable mentions. Number 14 is Seis Manos. It's a anime based in Mexico. It's actually in English, but it has a Spanish option, and the Spanish dub was good. It wasn't like some trash that just was on Netflix. It seems like they cared about the Spanish dub, so that's why I put it on this list. It's the only Spanish anime I've ever seen. It's worth watching. I'm not even gonna tell you what it's about. It's anime. If you like anime, you'll watch it. If you don't like anime, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You're not gonna watch it. Last one. I put this on the list. It's not actually a show. It's a movie, 100 metros, which is 100 meters. This guy is a pretty normal guy with a wife and a father-in-law that lives with him, and he gets diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. He starts having attacks, paralyzation, all kinds of stuff, and he doesn't get along with his father-in-law, and then he gets the multiple sclerosis, and they come up with a plan to have him train for an Iron Man. Based on true story, they show the people at the end of the show. This is also one that's heavy, man, because it's real. Like, anytime something's real, like watching the movie or the show, it just feels that much more heavy to me because they're showing the stuff. And it might be a little drama. They might have acted it up a little bit, but the fact is the dude really had multiple sclerosis. He had bouts of paralyzation while he was training. Sometimes he'll be okay, and then he would just lose control of his body. He had hella depression from it, obviously. It was heavy, man. It was heavy. But it was really good. He really ended up doing the Iron Man. He did multiple Iron Mans. He did more than one Iron Man race, okay? Anyways, that was a long video. That was a long video the second time, because the first time the video cut off, probably because I was talking too much, alright? I hope you enjoy this list. If you watch this entire list, you're kind of a loser because I've been talking for like 30 minutes. But if you watch this entire list and you don't like it and you haven't subscribed and you don't share it, you're kind of a bad person, bro. Like, you see me put all this effort into this and you just like, who cares about this guy? Look, when you like this and you share it and you comment, that lets me know that I'm headed in the right direction for you. I can help you with more stuff when you let me know that you like the content. If you don't like the content, by all means, don't like it, don't share it, don't subscribe, and I won't make anything like this ever again. But if you like this video, then let me know. I can come up with another list of 30. I watch this stuff all day. I study all day. I do this stuff all day, bro. So I always have more stuff to give y'all if you let me know that you like it. But you have to let me know, okay? Thanks for watching. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Peace.